Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me, tell me, tell me. Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me, tell me, tell me. Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me, tell me, tell me. Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me, tell me, tell me.
Welcome to the video. One of the most popular, certainly most talked about programs right now in the UK is Netflix's documentary, The Tinder Swindler. If you haven't watched it, it's on Netflix in the UK and many other countries. It's about the subject of the documentary is a gentleman called Shimon, who represents himself as Simon Leviev, and he's now being sued by the real Leviev family. What happens in this documentary is that the Simon guy claims to be Shimon is Israeli himself, but he claims to be part of an Israeli diamond tycoon family and, of course, their business. He claims to be the son of diamond tycoon Leviev. And cons, in my opinion, after watching the documentary, after reading articles online, after reading all about the story, my opinion, as the documentary shows, I think he cons multiple women that he meets on the Tinder dating app, which he's since been banned from, into sending him substantial amounts of money. Now, there's a couple of ways that he does this. Firstly, of course, he convinces multiple women on the app that he meets that he is the one for them and they are the one for him, even to the point where a couple of them go looking at houses and places to live together. So he convinces multiple women that they are in a relationship, exclusive relationship with him. And he also, a large part of this, he also, one of the ways that he convinces them to send him money is that because of his work in this diamond trading business, he is in danger. Now, he says that enemies are after him. He never actually specifies what enemies there are or who they are. But if he used his own finances, such as his credit card, his enemies will be able to track him, and the intimation is that if they track him, they find him and they will harm him. And so he needs their money to travel about safely without them picking up, tracking his credit cards and his personal accounts, etc. Which is obviously a lot of BS. It's rubbish completely. Now, what is going on is that, according to People magazine, I think it is, they are finding that according to court documents obtained by them, that Israeli-Russian diamond tycoon Lev Leviev and his family are suing Hayut for millions after he allegedly impersonated them and used their last name to enrich himself. According to the article, the lawsuit, which was filed in Tel Aviv, Israel, alleges that for a long time he has been making false representations as being the son of Lev Leviev and received numerous benefits, including material ones. Now, again, firstly, what he would do with the lady's money is that he would take the money from the women that he was conning. He would use that money not only to pay for a luxurious lifestyle, but also to wine and dine other women, he would also ask for money in the same manner. That, I need it to fly to Belgium, I need to get out here, my location's been compromised, or I need to eat, I need to buy food to survive, blah blah blah. He would give them a whole story. Again, this is all my opinion about the conning thing, because I know he's been vocal about suing people and things, but from what I've gathered and what I witnessed, my own personal opinion is that that is what he was doing. And it's not only the fact is, actually, I'll read the second part to it is the family, because the family added that Hayut has been cunningly using false words, claiming to be a member of the Leviev family and that his family will pay and bear the costs of his benefits. And again, that's yet another thing, because he would promise them that I've got a rich family, they'll pay you back. And it's not just as letting the women assume that he's Simon Leviev, part of this rich diamond tycoon family. He was literally saying it. He was literally stating that he is that Simon Leviev. Although, of course, he's no relation genuinely, he was promising them that his family would pay them back, and that he is the son of Leviev, part of that family. And like I said, so it wasn't as if he's just saying, oh well, they're just assuming that I'm this guy. He was literally telling them, I am that guy. There is also a statement from Leviev's family's attorney, Guy Ophir. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that properly. Ophir, stating that more legal action may be on the way. Stating, this legal action is only the beginning of a number of lawsuits that my firm is currently working on. In the next phase, we will file a monetary suit against Hayut and any other affiliate that will work with him, including some websites that have joint ventures with him and or have offered to buy cameos from him. Anyone that will try to capitalise from this scheme will be sued. Now, I said how this Simon guy has been, Shimon has been very vocal about the documentary since it was released, saying that the documentary paints an untrue picture of the story, doesn't tell all the facts, that it's basically wrong. He actually apparently, the last bit of the article states that he's defending himself in an interview with Inside Edition, saying, I was surprised how many girls wanted me and how many girls offered to travel to meet me without them knowing me. I'm not this monster that everybody has created. Now, I will say, if you watch the documentary, there is some concerning behaviour, let's put it that way, from the women that he cons and that he entices to believe that he's in a relationship with them. There is certainly some aspect of that. There's one woman that we meet early in the documentary that jumped on a plane to go overseas with him during their first date. Now, that is very concerning behaviour. Hopefully she's learned from that. Hopefully women watching that, and anybody actually watching that, who go on a first date with somebody, unless they kind of know them better, will learn and see that, yeah, okay, that's worrying behaviour. I shouldn't really go with somebody on a first date and jump on their some kind of private plane to go overseas with them to somewhere I don't know with somebody I don't really know. So there is some concerning behaviour. Absolutely, I would say that this lawsuit probably won't go anywhere too much. Watching the documentary, especially later on when I think it's a Norwegian newspaper, VG, certainly Scandinavian wise if I'm getting that wrong, but a newspaper gets involved and they do a series of articles called the Tinder Swindler, which is where the name comes from, and basically a lot of women realise, and I think that's the point where he gets banned from Tinder, perhaps, but certainly a lot of women stop giving him money and he goes broke. So I think that, because we know that apparently he is back living in Israel. It seems that he's certainly still living a luxurious lifestyle, even after serving sentenced to 15 months in prison for fraud, theft and forgery, but was released early after serving a mere 5 months, which is really frustrating. And he certainly seems to be back in Israel, living some kind of luxurious lifestyle. But I would say it's certainly on somebody else's dime, because especially later on, he doesn't seem the type to squirrel away any money, because he quickly goes broke when the article comes out, and people stop giving him substantial amounts of money, or starts demanding their money back from him. He goes quickly start living in hostels and so forth. So I don't think he's the type to have, and I don't think he has any real finances or assets. So my feeling is that where he's living, if he's still living the lifestyle that we have heard about at the end of the documentary and since, if he's still living a kind of luxurious lifestyle, it is on somebody else's dime. It's on somebody else's money, which leads me to believe that the Leviev family, hopefully, and I don't know how quickly the wheels of justice in terms of the courts in Israel spin. I think the most that they could hope for, and I think a victory for them, would be some kind of civil case where the verdict comes that it's proved basically that he is not a part of their family, nothing to do with them whatsoever, because he's not related to them. He's just using their name. He's certainly not the son. He's not a cousin. He's not a distant cousin. He's not. I don't think he knows the family, is associated with the family in any way, shape, or form. I think the best that they can hope for is a verdict in court that states that he's nothing to do with them publicly, legally. Get the courts to do that, declare that. Obviously, there's plenty of evidence to show that. I think that is the best that Leviev family will can get. They said about that statement. They will file a monetary suit against him and any affiliate that will work with him. I can't see them getting very much money at all out of them. I don't think they need the money really. It'd be great if they got any money, they could donate it to some local charity if they've got a good cause that they maybe support over there. But certainly, I think the most that the Leviev family will get out of this is basically just a legal verdict, legal decree of stating that he isn't anything to do with them whatsoever. So it's a bit of a frustrating story. I don't think there's going to be too many effects. I kind of hope it does affect. I know he's wanted apparently in a couple of other countries, including the UK and a couple of other countries. Certainly, apparently, have warrants out for him or are wanting to speak to him at least. Certainly, in my opinion, after watching this documentary, I think, like I said, this will be my opinion right the way throughout this video, apart from the bits I've kind of commented and talked about the documentary. He is a con man. That's what he did. He conned women out of substantial amounts of money. He used money from one woman to fund his luxurious lifestyle and to romance and wine and dine other women. And it was on a kind of circle. So he would take money from one woman, spend it on another, take money from yet another woman, spend it on yet another woman, or on the same woman, the first woman, and just mix and match kind of thing. So certainly I believe he is a con man. I think he was involved in more illicit behaviour than we really get to see on the documentary, because it's hinted at, and honestly some of the stuff I wouldn't be surprised at all that he was involved in further illegal activities or illegal stuff, but certainly hopefully this the articles that came out a couple of years ago, this documentary and all of this attention on this documentary, I have to say it's a very well made documentary. It's certainly getting people's attention. It's certainly probably getting the views. So all of this heat on him, whether he's able to feel it in Israel in terms of living his life, I don't know. I can't really tell. Can't really say. But certainly all of this information, all this coverage in the press, in the media, hopefully it does affect him, because like I said, a lot of what he does was absolutely reprehensible. But again, if you haven't watched the Tinder Swindler, get on it. It's on Netflix, and check your local Netflix in your local area. It's available in many different countries and territories. The documentary on your local and your Netflix service, because I know obviously through adverts of different things that Netflix has different programming in different areas. But check Netflix in your area. I'm pretty sure it'll be on there. But it's been a very popular program. I think whatever the goals the program makers aimed for. I think it's been achieved, and I do hope it continues the heat on this Shimon Simon guy continually right the way throughout this process.